this is a video about my progress on the build of the Minenräumer. This is by Meng, 1/35 scale. So the official name is arcade VsKfz 617. Now, if you don't know anything about this strange, ugly, but also pretty on her own, this is a mine cleaning device. The prototype being completed in 1942. So following trials, it was deemed to be impractical and there was no further production. Soviet troops came across the prototype when they overran Kummersdorf in 1945, and the machine eventually found its way to the Kubica Museum, where it remains. Regarding the kit, consists of around 200 parts, molded in grey plastic, and also there are further 30 track links in plastic and 30 plastic track shoes. Now the shoes have metal blocks molded inside, giving additional weight, but normal glue is still possible due to the plastic outer surface. Also there is a copper chain that can be used, and also there is an instruction booklet of about 14 pages. So if you see, this box art is really nice, and also there is some other another painted scheme provided by Meng, and also there is two more with camos. So the kit number is Meng SS001. So if you open the box, you can see it's empty because I have constructed, so I go through this one later, and at the end of the video I will also provide a slideshow with better quality pictures. But let me first go through this booklet and try to make some comments. So you can see here, it's a nice booklet. Starts with this with the track shoes, and this is the construction of the cap armor, and this is for the upper hull, and you can see actually there are here, for example, you can have covers for the rear engine intakes, which is fine and molded, and also there's engine access hatches. Actually you can see here they're open with 6 separate louvers on each one, and you have the separate covers. Of course, if you want to build it out of the box, they're scale fine enough, so you can use them as it is. I mean, you need some sanding in order to make a bit thinner, but they're also aftermarket photo etched that can be used with this vehicle. One is provided by Voyager, and the other one is by ET Model. Actually, I built it out of the box, although I have the ET model, but arrived very late from Japan. So is this one. So you can see here that this is the covers, So some grills here, the air intakes, the louvers, and some other photo edge parts that give you nice detail. But because I have another one, another kit, if I have time and I may use it. So this is the constructions of the upper and the lower hulls when you connect them. So another thing to remember is that you have the track links. Also you have the track shoes, which are this one. You have the track pins to connect them, and then you have to mount this one on the wheel discs. Now the first thing you will see is that the track links for the front wheels, they have some seam lines that you have to clean them up, and also they have some sink marks, so you have to fill them with putty and then you have to sand them. Also because when you try to link them together, there's a very tight fit, then you have to go inside with your file and that made a bit, open them up a bit. So for the rear wheel, so the things is easier because they don't have this sink marks, and also they have a better fit, so you don't have to work out with the file. Okay, we'll go through this later. Now this is the metal chain. There's a funny way with some wire to connect it to this one, which is impossible, and of course this what Meng suggests is pretty useless. So what you have to do is just to find a kind of pin and some bolts to make your own mounting point. So I was thinking about to use this set B by Meng, the nuts and bolts. These are the hexagon ones. So I can use this one with a metal rod or a plastic one to make the connection. So let's see. Okay, this is the MG35 barrels, and this is the turret. The vehicle has a turret, and one thing to notice is that you see the picture here. Meng has fitted the barrels the wrong way around, with a longer exposed barrel on the right side, when it should be actually on the left side. So what you have to do is just swap the position of the two barrels supplied in the kit, and you are done. Of course, it will be better, although they are nicely molded in plastic, it could be better to replace them with some aftermarket if there are. If you can find one, resin will be very nice. Now the Voyager set has a kind of photo etch parts to produce these barrels, but you have to roll them up, and this is actually not also a bit difficult. But at the end, what I have seen from pictures, they're not really provided anything. It's not nice actually. So I would prefer to replace this one with some resin aftermarket if I find one. Now regarding this, the turret, you can see this is a Panzer I turret. So actually they consist of three main parts. This is the upper shell. You have a separate lower turret ring. Also you have this front mantlet that traps the gun mantlet, in place along aviation. So there is also some nice interior structure if you want to have it open, but you need to put a figure actually, because the vehicle is empty from inside. Also there is a nice details, rivet details around the vision ports and the hatches, and also there are some nice weld lines on the turret. This is the spruce. So there is it's an easy build, and it's really I enjoyed building this kit. So let me show you what I have done. Okay, so this is actually you see there's a nice container. So this is to grow plants, I think. I bought from Lidl, and comes with a package of 6, about 3-4 euros. Have this transparent cover, protects from dust, and it's pretty useful. So if you want to see, the first I want to show you is this is actually the trunk links and the trunk shoes, and this is what I say, that you have this of course you have to clean the sink lines, but these are the sink marks that you have to fill with putty, and then I use Tamiya putty, I think, and then you just sand them and you are done. And also you have to connect with the pins. What I did, I tried to give some structure on the track shoes, you can see here. So what I did, I took this VsKfz 500, and I took a very old brass, and then I put some stippling motion. Like this one I left to dry. I sand them with a fine sandpaper. I repeat the process a couple of times. That's it, and it really looks nice. And I did it for the other one. You can see for each side there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So they're 18 together. But when you try to mount them on the disc, so you have the wheel disc, I'll go through later. You have to leave one shoe out, okay, and the corresponding pins, okay, to complete the construction. And if you take one of this one, you can see that actually there's quite a tight fit. Okay, it rolls, but not as smooth as it should be. It used to be worse. So what I did, I took my file, I put it here, I was just sanding both ways, I mean both sides. So I think I have to spend some more time to make it fit better. But once you are done, then you can mount on the wheel. Now, two things. This is the wheel discs. If you see the real photos, you can see that they're actually rounded here. Now, in the Meng, the original one, it was not rounded. So what I did, I filled it with some putty, just carefully sanded this one, and make this really nice to be round look. And I did for both of them. The other thing to remember is that when you attach it here, you have to remember that from photos there are 3 shoes should be touching the ground. I have seen some other constructions which are people that don't take care of this one. So when you do this construction and try to mount this on the wheel, then you have to take this into account and put the extra one here. Okay, when you do, and try to connect this one with the pins, and you're done. And then you have this really nice 3 shoes touching the ground. Okay, so let me take this one out. Here. Now this is for the rear wheel, so I did the same one. This was much easier, and also when you look at this one, they were not, you didn't have this sync marks. I think that you didn't have even weld lines, sorry, seam lines, so it was really easy. I did the same structure with VsKfz 500, and now what is done, this is the front wheel disc. Now you will notice that there were inside some sync marks that you have to take care of this one, but because there are 2 separate parts, you can easily work them out and then glue them together. Now what you do is that you can see this rolls very nicely, so you can see it's not a problem for this one. You can easily mount it here. Oops. So here you can see. Okay, this is, and again what you have to do is to take care of this extra shoe here and work them out. Now what is the problem with the tight fit is that for this one you can see, because you need to paint them in advance, so if there's a tight fit and you try to attach this one here, try to work them out in order to make these 3 shoes touching the ground, you may lift the paint if it is a tight fit. So this is where you have to spend some more time to make it a bit fit better. Okay, so this is here. Let's see, this is here. Another thing is that although you cannot see in the video because the zoom is not, I'm recording from my iPad, it's not really good. So this is here that you can see upper here on both sides. There are some marks, and this is because of the friction with the chain. And I will provide a better photo. You can see what I have done. What I did actually, I gave this structure as I gave with the surface, VsKfz 500, and I took the tip of the knife and I made this very, very fine lines. And also this is, you can see them on the real picture. I will provide them on the slideshow so you can have a better view on this one. So now this is the main vehicle here. So this is actually the covers with the louvers inside, okay, and as you can see I sand them to make it a bit thinner to be realistic. This is the intake covers here. What I did actually is that I spent some time to work on the weld seams. So what I did, actually, you see all this side here and here and also here and here. So I just applied some Tamiya glue. I think this was not the extra thin, but it was this one, which is a bit thicker. And I left it to dry a bit, and then I took my tip of the X-Acto knife and I started making fine scratches. Okay, and then I left it dry. Then I repeat the process a couple of times, and at the end, because it was a bit rough, I applied some extra thin cement to smooth it, and I left it dry. And I did for all these areas here. I did it here also. The same way I did some weld seams around these parts here. So what I did, I took a very thin screw, okay, plastic, and then I put some extra thin cement, and then again with the tip of the X-Acto knife I made these weld seams. And I did it around here, I did it around here, here actually. Okay, you see that so this is like lifting ice. I don't know, this one. I did it for this one here. Here also, and here. So when you try to mount the upper hull with the lower hull, you will notice there will be, I think there is a kind of a gap here, so you have to take care of this gap, and also applied some seam weld lines also here. But here, this gap here is not a real gap, it's a part of the real vehicle. So you don't have to worry about this one when you try to glue these two pieces. This is the chain, which is temporarily mounted. I need to I think I need to varnish this chain to look better, and then when you try to connect to this part here with it, you have to make a connection. You have to make this one with a pin, as I said before, so you need to work them out. It's not that easy, but it's doable. Okay, this is the turret. Here you can see it's rotating. Okay, now you notice that I have mounted the MG34 barrels on the correct way. Yeah, it was a fun build to do this one, not very difficult. I just spent a lot of time to make these weld seams, the louvers, sanding them to make them thinner. Also I have to make this a lot of thinner. I can replace it with a rod, but I think smooth is thin enough. That will be okay. Now, so this is as far as the regarding the building process. Now, regarding painting, which I hope to update in the future, what I have in mind is to make this one with the factory colors. So what I have in mind is to apply some factory German colors, and this is the smart set by Meng. Okay, and of course that will be abandoned with a lot of dust. That will be nice, I think, but I need also some factory markings. So for this one, what I did is that I bought this set. So this is a dry transfer, German factory mark is WW World 2 by Wilder. So I can use this one. So this is actually what I have in mind, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope this update was useful to you. At the end of the video I will make a slideshow with all my progress of various steps for this build. So have a look at it, and thank you very much. Probably see you in the future with this painting, and thank you again. Have a good one.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is